the first seal, the first nation for the Americas, and as his trustee, he placed me in care of the seal in relation to doing right with and by the the people or the First Nation people that when a document is issued, I can now place that seal on that document coming out of his office.
Who is this? He's you're referring to, though.
Granta Lamont Belton, he is one
Oh,
of
okay.
the head of the World Martial Authority, and he is one of the high priests of the Seminole Nation.
And I
Oh,
think he was asking you too also about the other seal, the one you
Uh,
were talking about with
um,
the other.
which one is he referring to exactly?
no, yeah. You have to ask me. I'm just talking about in general the significance of that seal being handed to you. You say, right? It's in your possession.
Yeah. So um to have the ability to wield that seal and granted the ability to use it effectively
Hmm.
for our people, that
Right.
says a lot in
Hmm.
relation to trust
Hmm.
and the journey that I have traveled to get to this point.
Hmm.
um I have to be very careful on how I take that seal and use that seal in any form or fashion, because that seal carry a lot of weight,
Hmm.
not just nationally here in the
Okay.
Americas, but internationally as coming out of the office of Secretariat or the Secretary of State, which represents our people with the seal of liberty.
Oh, Carl, that was my next follow-up question. So it's so you're saying all of us were on the journey to taking sovereign control of our lives and our indigenousness to the land and self-govern and self-direction. You're saying that we can get you to do some seal of approval, so to speak, on our documents. Is that what you're saying? And do you do that like electronically? Because we know that time and space is a problem, but can you do that electronically? Like, say, I'm here in Canada, want to get my documents sealed instead of going to the bar association. I can come to you. Is that what you're saying for us?
So I would let Belton address that.
Yes, in respects to you. I'll be brief. The Great Seal Personal Rando, that Pacific Seal, if you're not familiar with the territories here or the North American island, they may say Turtle Island. You had nations that predate the colonial intrusion or the trespass. And of course, we have recently promulgated, or I do what you may call a promulgation, maybe every year, or is to keep people consistent with the memorandum. And when I say memorandum, that predates the colony, not uh, being processed statutorily. The state has no jurisdiction over I, Grant, Lamont, or Belton, or any of the First Nation people. There were 23 tribes that was on a list that existed or predated the Virginia $5 Indians, which I do have respect for. I did meet them. They have their reservations, but those are the Virginia Indians, and there were like maybe 8 of those. And then you had Indians that or natives or aboriginals that existed that were not promoted, via television or within what you may call the financial sector. They may say commercial television, but commercial is substantive jurisprudence, and they try to link themselves to that word so that they can have some operational or some origin, because finance is a construct and it can be used as a vehicle, but of course it must be regulated, because the players mostly in finance are limited liability corporations. So the state of Virginia has a corporate seal, which is Six Sector Tyrannis, which that seal is the lesser seal at code 1-501. And it's explicitly 100% reserved for the operations for the governor, the colonial governor, and his commissions and notaries within the compounds of the Virginia only. Then there's a great seal perseverando, that is a land seal that they swore to all of these immigrants, colonial, or what you may call illegal conquistadors, because the trespass, it's still existing. If you have not read the book, Virginia Dissolution, London Company, 1606, 1624, by Wes Craven. That book, the first page tells you that there was a justice, and I'm going to try to condense this so that you comprehend that I'm not just going to, oh, you can do this and do that. You want to get the facts and the basis of what took place. The commissions in the state of Virginia, when it came to the Uniform Commercial Code, that is for natural people, a jurisdiction for them, 100%. It was not for any other culture or foreigner or immigrant to come in, because it's a lien notice system, but that notice system is connected to a transmitter utility, which is a pipeline or either what you may call wires in the ground or on the pole. So they didn't know exactly what a transmitting utility was that they when they introduced this or pretended to be. So if you ever did history on what you may call registered agent CTC, which is like Walmart, all of these different corporations would have to have, per 13.1-1015, a registered agent for any corporation that is acting or pretending at commerce if they get a license from the debtor state, because the state is not revealing to them or not disclosing to them that they have no powers to do this. It's going to always be a limited liable corporation, not liability like you're facilitating liable. It's a liable corporation, which is fraudulent misrepresentation of one corporate limited liability status, because they have no third party till set aside separate from someone to hold if there's a collision in commercial affairs. Okay. So what happened was I had superseded the judicial competency of the state of Virginia, and they became inadequate to facilitate my standing as obligee. They are owed a duty to perform as obligor. So I leaned the United States and everything up. But before I did that lien, they had, well, actually, I did the lien first, but they came out and they have a process where the UCC at the commissions level, the state secretary's office, you're familiar with that. Here in Virginia, at Virginia's office, the Virginia political body is distinguished from the Great Seal sovereign body. Okay, that sovereign body predates them coming in here. That's why they hit the 1776 seal. Mm-hmm. That seal bind all of them to respect us here and to make certain that the King and Queen Trust will layer over us, and that we would have resolved per the King and Queen Olaridis Kureridis estate. So I put a lien on that operational system, because a writ is just not on paper. It's a tribunal of operation with people to be in the building. So they swore here and pretended like they had a writ or a tribunal system for king. And then they went in and facilitated apathy maritime, and then they put the UCC in to arrest the judges. Well, no one was competent to really know what that is. So they continued to perpetrate this fraud with domestic and circuit court, which is strictly for the colony in terms of their debtor lesser activities or fraternal situations that they need to resolve. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we were forced into that operation via this fictitious slaving, just as Brother Chief High Priest had emphasized with his prudence. Much respect to him. This was a debasement of law itself, because jurisprudence is just that. It's not any other law. Law is to have a respect for what predates it, primordial, the natural systems, and not to be manipulated. Mm-hmm. And the intention of that is to stand with that. Is stated. What happened with the colonies is in 1930, they annihilated via the Geneva Conventions, all legislatures, which were slave-holding municipal corporations, which is a renegade government that takes from people threat and coercion and force them to prison. However, within that tax or revenue code, there is to be a force to arrest them if they have civil bad behavior in their public servant position. So I knew this because I was trying to get help from the enforcement here, being Seminole here. So I know that we had our own force, Aboriginal. We were not armed, and I could not approach them. So I went priest this way that I could have a resolve with the angry Roman. So this angry Roman seal, even with his seal, 600 Annis, it was to remind him that he come from London and that he's on someone else's continent, and it syncs up with the bond. And within that book that I was telling you about, the Virginia dissolution, that they only came here as to explore. And they said they were enterprisers, and that would only be pertaining to the public. We named them Virginia coming here. And what happened is the church, especially with the Black church, they started perpetrating Black power and started misrepresenting and falling victim to welfare and foolishness, and they went debtor seal, and they became workers, and they reduced themselves, or misrepresentation in terms of civil rights. Civil rights is international law, but if you have misrepresentation from the state colonial attorney general, then he enacts Christian Black codes, and then they get amnesia of someone being here before they trespassed against you, you see. So I had to, what you may call, construct in a way where they would not estoppel or circumvent justice via the attornment that they had claimed to have over these birth certificates or social. So I collapsed all of that, and that became burden of proof. And I had captured my birth certificate and all of that. And then I was able to take my birth name and let them know it's not what you say. If it's a corporation, I'm going to style it. So I'm going to name this corporation an anti-tort trust, and I'm going after you. And I'm going to go and cover every port that you cannot cover. For some reason, you have amnesia. The Pope has come and have stated in 2009, motu proprio, your time is up. Then he revocated inter cateria. He revocated Catholic Christian discovery doctrine and the discovery to manifest, all of that. So when he said that, people said, well, we needed his signature. No, he spoke as the word was spoken. Are you a slave man or free man? What he said to us is that people are in your land illegally. If you are knowledgeable enough, these instruments that I have spewed to you, you are responsible now to trust God and get it right. Now, most people got mad, and they may say, well, the Pope should have got an army and forced these people. He did the best that he could do because he knew that we are the ultimate power within oneself. You would have to know. So it's too risky for him to say, okay, well, I'm going to do all of this and I'm going to sign this. He already did it. He revoked it, everything, repudiated it. So the commissioners in the state of Virginia, with on having these knowledge and have set with the FBI, I have had introduced them my system, United States Marshal Services and all of that. I was not worried about them trying to circumvent them because this system that I have is an intelligible assuredness system to arrest their bad behavior. It is integrated within their collegial or municipal construct via the municipal rulemaking legislative board. All of that is collapsed. I've talked to the Security Exchange Commissions, all of the commissioners, the high top ones, Donette Bailey, Shapiro, Elizabeth Warren was there at the time. All of these people I had to counter at the World Bank, everywhere. I traveled all of these different places and I brought in this enforcement. So, and make a long story short, the commissioners from the state of Virginia, which is the highest operational, most powerful entity within the Commonwealth Trust, stated to I, Mr. Belton, after my lawsuit against the Commonwealth and the state of Virginia and the United States, I didn't sue them for money. I sued them to get the records correct, to get the respect that my nation and my tribe is, because somebody unlawfully stole his body, put him in a wagon. He was not a colonist, so you don't have no accusations. Okay. We're going to stop this role play now. So I counted them, which is what you may call through a registered agent setting, which is the 13.1-1015. And after that, it was successful, meaning that I had archived in the records that I had sued the state of Virginia from an Aboriginal title court that is sort of like a brother or sister operation within their construct, but superior over them. And I can dictate and transmit to them and not be subjected to them. And I have all of this as burden proof. So this is how I wind up with the seal, because Joel H. Peck, and I've made these records known publicly, have come out, state police, CCTV, all of this stuff was there, all of the security. I was in a hot spot because that's the hottest police hub. That's where you go. That's where the sheriff is registered as a corporation. And in fact, they said it in front of the sheriff department when he came in that day. Mr. Belton, you're going to have to do everything. And I said, what he said, you're going to have to perform all of what's necessary for you to get done. Because I'd sued them under the Great Seal. The presentment was on the instruments that I had, and I had ab antiquo in the ways of the ancient. So I did it, what you may call a presentment of federal, because I have security over the Consul Federal. When I met with the Consul Condoleezza Rice administration in the United States, and I met all of the federal agencies, and they were all defective. And I counted Christopher Galando. Galando is his name. Okay, in the federal circuitry, which is the clerk over all of the United States federal Eastern District courts in all states everywhere. And the problem was that they was misdirecting the secured party creditor, which is the original people. It's not everybody. Everybody will come to us. You're misdirecting this traffic. So the Secretary of State put her operations among the Virginia State Corporation Commission, because everything that they would be passing would be in contrast to liberties. So this seal, the bond to it, Great Seal Perseverando 1-500, which is the sovereign seal, is still itself within the archives per the Secretary of Kelly, Thomason, and Janet Kelly would be the right one. It says to sustain liberty for ourselves and our posterity and our children for future generations. Why would they walk away from that seal? Okay. So we had it in the office, and he stated to I said to them, I am going to continue. They said, correct, you go forth. We're not going to be able to help you. That's how I wound up with the seal. They asked I to take on the responsibilities of what was necessary, and I sued them. I have that specific record that I have posted. In fact, hold on for a minute. I can. It's good for you to see it in real time. Let me give it to you right now so that you can lay your eyes on it. And it's necessary because it had never been done. Not that I'm trying to take what you may call credit for that. It was just that no one that was Nubian was able to facilitate the suit against them outside of the state of Virginia and outside of the United States court systems. And I did it within like a brother, a sister venue within that, because the recordation of the settlement of my trust had become what you may call integrated within the circuitry, where the commissioners become my administration. And they didn't know that I found that out. So when I recordated the trust here, any type of notice, order, writ, or demand that I transmit, they didn't know that I knew that writ mean tribunal. Correct. All right. So I have a court here, and I'm going to run this court because you are under default. So you had codes like 8.98-505 or whatever, this and that, 525, every type of situation, 8.98-526, to respect other jurisdictions, filing offices with the UCC, and to get from other jurisdictions their laws. They was just in complete default, sir. They didn't do anything. They was just collecting money. They were incompetent.
Wow.
All they were doing was slaving or trading. Whatever there was no resolution for us. Okay. Yeah. So here you go right here. This is one of of the indictment, and you would see the Commonwealth or the District Court, and this right here was the State Corporation Commission. All right. And this specific instrument, see, certificate of compliance right here. And that means there's a bond in place that I today might be a little difficult, and it reads, I hereby certify that Richmond, Virginia on November the 10th, 2015, the following notice in the above style model was served on me as statutory agent. Statutory agent is the commissioners, which is Admiralty Maritime, a highly oversight police force that's supposed to be investigative like an inspector general in the United States that would go forth and go after these registered agents or PLLC attorneys. And if there's a notice comes in, depending on what that notice is, like 13.1-1047 or 46, if I say a LLC is not living up to his mission statement, I can serve them or come back in the next day and foreclose on them via another code. If they're in the building, I can empty that building out and be indemnified in doing so. Okay. So here it says the statutory agent for Chesterfield County. So each county has a registered agent, or Virginia itself, because it's a business. And that's why I had to put a liens, brother, on the Uniform Commercial Code system. And I have IACA, which is International Association of Commercial Administrators or Corporate Administrators, Keith Whitelaw in 2009, and Randy Mose in 2010. They were the presidents. And I confronted them that the UCC is not for adjudication, it's not for injunctions, and they don't have any jurisdiction over that. And they said that is completely correct, sir. Okay, so why is it that the courts have people that are uniform commercial code secure party creditors in jail? They couldn't answer. So they asked from that hub, I hope that you and your marshals, the Aboriginal martial law officers, would get the Western Hemisphere straight, sir, because the banking system is so corrupt, they don't even know what's going on. Alan Greenspan stated in 2007, when the guarantors act, then the markets will become well. He was talking about the grantor. So I took them up on their offer. And I got a squad, and we went to DC and all these places and started meeting all of these so-called people that got all of these top situations. And I did it respectfully, sir, with no weaponry. And I come from a family that I make certain that I respect them and everybody. I never, ever postured bad to anyone, but we had to get to this. This was worse than Watergate. This is the worst scam in the world. This is worse than the Treasury stuff that Doge is finding. So anyway, this is one indictment. I did indictments. Then it's another indictment, and you have like GC 14005-450 on there. The next one would be 5451. You see, the next one would be 8423. However, they was coding this. So I had to counter 5 different charges that they had on this situation, and you can see it says Reed Chesterfield County Civil Process Bankrupt. You are bankrupt, so they weren't going to have a judge in the federal circuitry or any of these courts. When I go to talk with them, everybody was saying, you got to do everything. When I went to the federal court, when I went to the international court, when I went to the UN, it was just like they knew who I was before I got there and didn't want to answer the question. So that's why we have the Great Seal, sir. Our people was here and they swore on the landmass. And now we have what we call an intelligible process via 12.1-19.1, a service of process that is a pipeline militarily that would subject these operational occupiers that are militarized, but in the name of Jesus, they clergy, if that makes sense to you. So I'm a priest, and I meet them on that plane instead of coming to the battle like this, because I'm not warring with you. You see what I'm saying? Peace by parchment, and the other one by bloodshed. I chose the gentleman way as a priest, not weakness. We need to talk. The angry Roman wants to do this so nothing can get done. We need paper, and we need that Pacific security. Much respects to you if you have any questions.
Wow, that is I couldn't ask a better, my brother. You're like a walking encyclopedia.
May I take the floor for a quick second, please?
Yes, go ahead.
So with what Belton have done, I took what he have done and merged it with our own banking system, bank/trust facility through the platform of a 508, which meets them halfway in relation to what they have done. And the 508 is the same platform that the that the Vatican used to erect their church and their banking system on. So I have taken that same system, reverse engineered, and brought it over that the indigenous people can have their own central banking system and the bond that Belton have to back everything that we do in the public venue and private venue.
Awesome. All right, thank you very much. I don't want to take up too much time. How do I follow both of you gentlemen, especially the presenter that just? How do I follow you, sir? How do I follow you? Where's your website or email or? Because I'd like to talk to you, engage you some
Or
more.
Belton,
Grantor,
Belton is under the World Marshal Authority.
where you find that? Or is that a
That live.
website?
World Marshal Authority that live.
World
Marshal
Marshal.
Authority. MARTIAL, not
Oh, good that
MARSHALL.
you said that. Yeah.
MARTIAL, World Marshal Authority.
Okay.
Brother Willie, I'll try to put that in the chat right now.
Okay. Yes, please. Because jet people like these of substance and resources we need to follow and learn from them, because that was just simply mind-blowing and awesome. And I thank you for your work, sir, because we need more
Brilliant.
people like you to be paving the way. 'Cause if you notice what they're doing right now in America, they're trying to do a lot of evil things against the original people. They're doing a lot of thing under Trump, and it's like they're trying to destroy what the work that has been done. Yeah, but anyway, I yield the floor to someone else. Thank you very much for that answer. Awesome.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Anyone else? Any questions, comments?
Yeah, I Chief Gary in Panama.
Grand Rising, Governor General. Grand Rising.
Yeah, Grand Rising.
Sergeant.
Yeah, man. These two gentlemen are very, very. I'm listening to them. Like we say, we're a Nyan-Kapong tribal nation government, and we're very big enough. And then all the information what we hear and what they're doing is brilliant. We'd like to give them the support, same and as a family, as a government, to involve with these people. They're very clued up with everything they're doing. And like I said, they will want them supporting in England here too. What we find, the same things happen to them in America, the same things happen to we in England here. And then I can see who's controlling everything. The same type of man them were in America, same type of man them in England, and same type of man them in France. They are the one enslaving every one of us and taking everything from us. And I plain to see that they are the one having the babies now, and we not having no kids over here like before. They depopulating our tribes, our nation all over, and we can see they are the one of the younger one right now traveling around in England. We can see no young baby, one film tribe alone of it. So we can see what they're doing, depopulate us, taking away everything from us, bunkering up us all over in this country, put people in a more stress, poverty. So these guys, we want some of that information that we can work over here to strengthen England and strengthen the native over here too. So we shall be appreciate for the great work what they're doing. Continue do that great work and keep the link with the Nyan-Kapong Maroon tribal nation government. We are a strong nation of 4 million going to 5 million of us worldwide. To be a part of us, help the next generation to come. And your banking system, we wanna get a link with it that we can start to do something with your banking system too. We don't mind in England here, we can trade with you, we can do stuff with you. That we can invest money in the bank, we can put money in the bank, we can do so much thing with your banking system. Time now our people, our tribe, our nation, if we have something like that we can put the money into, we can transfer, we can do all that as a nation. Yeah, we shall be proud of the good work. Yeah.
Yes, much respect to you. Much respects to you. Yes, we'll be in touch. Much respects, and we love y'all. We have people over there in London as well. Anyway,
Grand Rising. May I have a word?
Yes, go ahead, Sister Brown. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you kindly. Yes, I just wanted to express my gratitude for this knowledge that I'm hearing today. I'm in Canaan land, aka Canada, and we're also experiencing the same things over here, of course. And it's just delightful to hear that there is an opportunity for banking for us as Indigenous or originals, because that's one of the biggest things that we're facing as we are correcting our forefathers and foremothers legacy here on the planet. So like I just had an incident, for instance, with one of my hairs. We went to a bank and tried to utilize our indigenous passport to get an account, or just even ask questions as how we can navigate ourselves. And so, lo and behold, he had a situation. Next thing you know, we're seeing the police showing up saying that, oh, pretty much that he did fraud by going to the bank and asking questions with a fake ID, they call it. So, and I know that they were just trying to get jurisdiction, but it's just things like this that they do to try and coerce and use their iron fist to control. So it's just very delightful to hear that this will be possible for our people. So I just wanted to say thank you for that knowledge, and I'd like to get more information as to how we can get involved. And thank you so much. I yield.
All of the necessary information is inside the group, and we will have our brothers back on again. I think High Chief Geary is the one who orchestrated that, and I thank you very much, High Chief Geary, for that orchestration. There's going to be more. There was so much thing that was put forward today when it comes on to who we are as a people. There is so much garbage that is being spilled out there, but give thanks to Nyan Kapong. We have steadfast and we're not turning back. As I said, today is our recruiting day. And I think we had Michaela that was here with us today. Hopefully you will be contacted. Please put your information inside of the chat. Because if there's one thing we emphasize around here, even though we share our platform with other groups, we are still at the predicament that the Nyan Kapong 1738 stand that our ancestors has given to us is one of the most fundamental stand, because we know that our ancestors not only beat the superpower Britain, they trash them, and everything that the British own belongs to us. It belongs to us. It's not theirs, because they stole it from our people, and they're still stealing it from us under the sykes of democracy and so-called civilization. Because they are the barbaric one. We're not barbaric. And when we make our stand, I applaud our brother who said that he keeps silent. But of course, Nyan Kapong is the tip of the spear. We cannot sit idly while injustice take our people, and our people suffer because of the lack of the knowledge. And most of the knowledge that is bestowed to our people are held by our very own. It is not the Caucasian that have us as bondage. It's our own colored skinned brothers and sisters who are selfish and conceited in their own demise to gain power. What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? That's why we say, Nyan Kapong, we have neither class, creed, or color. We cut across those barriers because we realize that, as we noticed, the Caucasian is our creation. We created these monsters, and our ancestors put them in cave to live, and they've become very, 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 very hateful. And if my mother and father had left me in a cave to survive, I too would be very bitter. but it's because of the sin of our ancestors. Our ancestors made love to a woman when the time wasn't right, and bring forth these people. And because they bring forth these people, they call them albino today. And even today, you will find them have the albino and carry them to different village and leave them because it is our creation and we must stop. We're not looking a superficial fix for this. There's only one way we can alleviate this stress, and it's through love. And our document that we issue is out of love. And anyone who stands on the principle of our documents have to do it through love. We always tell our brothers and sisters that diplomacy is the order of the day, not arrogance or arrogancy or ignorancy. Those those things will never bring us any solution. But until we realize that the problem that we face is ours, let us stop look at blame thing. Let us try to find solution and let us try to have a collective security because what the corporation dwells on is that the pride, which is the downfall of Lucifer, will continue up until this day. No, we are a loving people, and that's why we have an emperor go out there, feed the hungry, clothe the people who don't have clothes, and be the father to the fatherless. That is our power as a nation. And when we say Nyankapong Pikibu, Nyankapong mean the all-seeing one, the gods of all the gods that you can think of. That is the power that we walk with. And we make no apologize or no compromise when it comes on to what our ancestors have given to us as a nation. I think I saw a hand up before I go because before I go, hi Chief Crystal. I asked you to invite our friend from yesterday. I know you may be multitasking. I didn't see maybe next week. It was too much of a short notice, and Brother Don could not be here, but we have another Don today. He is also very crucial. Hi Chief Crystal. Seem as if she is multitasking. But as far as the trusts, because I want to inform our brothers and sisters that we will give you the document. But if you don't know how to use the documents, you will be like a rolling stone gathering no moth. There's a lot of knowledge out there, and everybody has become knowledgeable because wisdom cried out in the street. But we need leadership, tangible leadership, selfishless leadership, leadership that don't want to give our people riches but give our people wealth. Wealth as in the resources that we walk on. Wealth as to the air that we breathe and the water that we dive into. Because we're lawful people. So get your documents, and for those who have your documents and still waiting until your foot is on the fire to learn about and use your documents, Nyakapong has gone further as to have a study group. Study to be very, very wise. Because in this time is not your money going to save you. You can be rich like Donald Trump and stupid as a donkey. You can be rich as Prince Charles and useless as a fork. Money doesn't give you power. Wealth give you power. Knowledge is wealth. And some of our people are still stuck into the paper dollar. That's why they will never be wealthy because they do not take time out to even know the proper food, the proper spiritual connection. You hear we talk about trust, and the only trust you hear about is in God we trust. But the US dollar have a big in God we trust. There's a trust out there that we need to get into. So we do all these things. We also teach you about your legacy, your cultural value. It is we who start making coconut oil and custard before you find them people that take out sewage oil I serve you. Lot of you eating I use oil I cook now out of the sewage it come from. Now for you drinking water and think of spring water, it is toilet water you're drinking. Because when they take away our knowledge, they can belittle us. They can treat us like slave. The only way you become a slave is when you accept that you're a slave. And if you discover that the word citizen turn it into a slave and you don't want to relinquish it, it's you. You may be comfortable as a slave. Our ancestors was never slave. Any one of you here that subscribe to the slave garbage, please, that is not our forte. We do not accept slavery. We accept transatlantic war, if you want to call it. Because I don't see how some guy could have ever bring us over upon ship and when we come over here we beat them. Would have beat them before them put we on ship. So there's a folly to this story. But because they have created Black History Month and none of us here is black, for anyone here calling themselves black, you're disrespecting this platform. None of us is black. We're melanated. We're bronze. We are the Khalifa. Everything else come through us. We are the melanated Nubian kings and queen. No apology. L119 policy. Grand Rising. Your hand is up, Grand Rising.
Hi, Grand Rising. Can you hear me?
Peace and blessings.
Hi. Well, grateful again for the information that you
Yes.
have expelled. So I did echo the sentiments of what you said. Yes, a lot of the status correction, so to speak, and the proper documents of
Mm-hmm.
who we are should be given in love. So I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to know, why does it cost close to $800 plus more? Not everyone has that disposable income to get to get the documents. Is there any other way that, in order to help the masses, especially those who do want to um, join the tribe,
All right.
that they have to place close to $1,000?
No, our dockers is $640. If you're being charged over that, must be something else. Our our documents
What's
is
the process?
$640 is our documents, and
Hmm.
we give you three documents, which is your live life claim, your traveler's permit, and your tax of void. Your tax
Hmm.
void, where you don't pay taxes. Now, a lot of people say that Rascada is that is too much. I usually say that too. But I believe that when we give our people anything free, some of them are careless. They will take it and waste it. They don't appreciate value. And you have to appreciate yourself. You will buy a Dulce and Gabbana bag for $500. What we're giving you, you won't pay tax with it. You will have something to start up a proper trust because you have to change your status. We give you a traveler's permit. If you don't know how to use these things, you won't get the benefit. But immediately getting your tax void, you stop paying tax if you know how to use it. We have several people here who doesn't pay to go on the bus, the train, and sooner or later the plane are coming. This is a process, and I believe in it. For more information, you can reach out to our desk because I usually take part payment, but I don't do that anymore because I find it to be very disrespectful. Because a lot of our people believe that they give you money and they can call it 2 o'clock at night and talk to you in any way. And I do not tolerate peasantry. I am a nobleman, so I expect all of my brothers and sisters to have nobility. So you
Hmm.
can, where are you located? Where are your jurisdiction, my dear?
United Snakes of America.
You're in the United Snakes. All right. Well,
California.
hey, listen to me. Call my office, get your things sorted out, and get your data on board. Getting your
Hmm.
documents is the start. After you get your document, then you start walking. Okay?
Yeah, I would appreciate that because we're in the trenches, and I do policy and legislation in real
Good.
time. And
Call.
the thing is, I need protection. And it's like it's everything costs an arm and a leg. I'm like, I
Well,
don't save my people. I mean, I do, people who can't afford a lawyer, I do help them with cases,
mm-hmm,
and I'm thinking, if what goes around comes around, and I know everything has a cost to it, but there's a time and a place where you got to protect those who are in the fire. And so I'm
mm-hmm.
grateful again to be here, and see
What I
how we
would,
can move
what I,
forward.
what I would, what I would appreciate, love, is your profession falls into exactly what our operation entails.
Mm.
All of listen me, Nyankapong need doctors, teachers, lawyers, policy enforcers, every single one of the brothers that have been flipped to work for the corporation. It's our obligation to flip them back to work
Mm.
for our nationals, because even the people out there, the police is in danger. As you see, the nurses and the teacher, whenever they want guinea pigs, these are the first people they will draw for. You see the pandemic the other day, no police could have kept them job unless them get a joke. But with our national
Yes.
paper, they could have put a letter and get a letter from the emperor's office or my office that give them the right to stand in their national jurisdiction. Just what you heard a while ago with my brother said a while ago by the marshals. We at Nyankapong have our security thing also. But we want to merge with others. And you being out there, it's a collective security. Our High Chief Geary can tell you several times you have people who the enforcers they apprehend them, and by the time we call them and start to put some pressure on them, they have to back off. What they're using is intimidation. They want hold on upon Gary, and I'm not supposed to call. They want hold on to you, and I'm the call. But if they hold on to you, and all of us, 31 of us, call them, trust me, a concern start to rise. Because them can't put all away away, We're like sand upon the seashore. So even if you are not a full member, stay in contact with us, because guess what? We want to have everybody under one umbrella so we can make moves. Individuals does an individual move as big as you hear they are is not safe. You have to have a collective security. But thank you so much, 119 policy. Put your
Oh,
info.
sorry. It's
Empress.
I don't know what it said. It's supposed to be Dr. Truth Bay. So I don't
No.
know. I'm so sorry it didn't do that. I'm on my
So,
phone. Yes.
Yeah.
Hi,
yeah,
peace, Gary. Hello.
Empress, I want to add on, big up Empress. I want to add on to also to Empress. You see, Empress, you see, right now you're inside of Disneyland. I call it Disneyland, the fiction world, the corporation. It's
Mm.
Disneyland, right?
Yeah.
And as long as you're inside there, you are like one of the characters, and they have you by contract. So you're going to try to sue Mickey Mouse, but Mickey Mouse is your boss. They have your contract. Now,
Mhm.
with your documents, you see, everybody, most people who are in the citizen category, they have money sitting on the table immediately from the moment that they change their status via income tax. You don't pay any more taxes going forward, and you have back taxes in which you can collect via back income tax, as well as if you own land, that also too, as well as, let me give you an example. If you make, let's say, $50,000, you have about $18,000, $19,000 that you're going to save in a year, just off of not paying taxes going forward, let alone the taxes that you have paid previously via income, capital gains, or property taxes. So the moment that you come through the gate, you have money already sitting on the table. So, and your bond, which is connected to that, is worth millions. So you're coming into a winning situation. But most importantly, before you get your documents, you should be on your way, the road of studying, becoming just like our good Chief Belton and our good brother Gregory was mentioning. The powers, look at how they move, look how calm, look how confident they are. That's the state that you want to get to by moving, coming back in your sovereignty. So before you get the documents even in your hand, you should be studying, seeking knowledge. There's an old saying that when the knowledge seeker seeks knowledge, the knowledge will appear and show itself. So apply yourself because it's going to change the whole game for you. But you need to get into the
Understand.
sovereign mindset.
Right. I don't
Sovereignty
want to draft.
is
Yeah, I
spiritual.
don't want to draft. I want to draft my own documents. All I do is study. Saying there comes a point in time when I need the documents in my hands. Yeah, because I'm in places that I cannot describe on this site that's unsecured. Second of all, why are we not using Meetup One? Hello.
Yeah, we're not using Meetup one because we choose not to as yet. We
Oh,
will
okay,
we,
okay.
we will get to that point when I choose.
No worries, no worries. Okay, but honestly, there are, like I said, I do understand exactly everything you say, Happy Gary, and I
That's
concur.
that's we must learn the art of war of not being cowards. We must learn to
Correct.
talk. Yeah, we must learn to talk. Listen me. You can put
Yeah.
me in the midst of the FBI and I talk and they don't understand a shit I said. Because
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and what I don't like is when we come on this platform or any platform because you may feel safe on Meet One. Is it safe?
Mm-hmm.
You may feel safe on Facebook. Is it safe? We have to come out of this fearfulness of our people. That's why we will never achieve anything because we doubt
Mm-hmm.
ourselves. We doubt ourselves that when like if a police stop you, the first thing come to your mind is prison. You don't even think about diplomacy as to hey,
Yeah.
I have
Mm-hmm.
rights. I have rights. And when they
Mm-hmm.
find out that they can intimidate us so quickly, they will forever beat us. Because guess what? They have mastered the psychological forces that they can use against us. I'm not telling you that I'm not fearful, but fearful of a man.
Right, right. I don't suggest that because of fear. I'm saying it because it's black owned. That's my only focus. But I don't want to be long winded. There is a celebration happening, but again, if I may, yeah, contact with you because again, I would like to have the documents like yesterday. So if I left my information in the chat, and I would love to connect with you afterwards.
Hi
But thank you
Chief
so much.
Hi Chief Gary. Please follow up. I put my information in the chat also. So we can move forward.
All right,
Definitely.
give thanks.
Thank you
Yes,
so
Empress.
much.
Looking forward to you joining the family. Big up.
Our time here is coming to an end. Anyone else with any question before we move to close our sovereign meeting?